Hi, I'm Old Sneelock. Welcome to another episode of Old Sneelock's Workshop. What makes a good screwdriver good? Let's take a look at a few of them that I have laying around, and we'll see what makes me think that they're a good screwdriver. What do I think makes a good screwdriver? Let's look at a few and figure that out. Well, I have a variety of screwdrivers. There are all kinds of handles for screwdrivers, all kinds of shank lengths. There's a huge array of screwdrivers. It seems like everyone has a favorite handle shape, size, and material. There are multiple screw head configurations. Torx, hex, Phillips, Robertson, and straight, just to name a few. Today I'm going to talk about the old-fashioned handheld straight bit screwdriver, like this one. When you go to the store to pick up a screwdriver, what are the questions you need to ask? Well, that's based on what kind of screw you're going to be driving. Are you going to be taking something out that requires 2 men and a boy? Or a little one? Both of these are screwdrivers, both straight bit. This one will handle a very large screw. This one is more like the one that you're going to use to loosen up the screw in a doorknob. You can ask yourself, what kind of handle do you want? And this is an example of what some people consider to be a great handle. It's wood, all natural. It's big, they can grab onto it easily. This is called a perfect handle screwdriver. Now, not because the handle is perfect, but whoever invented it said, I think it's perfect. For me, it's a nice screwdriver. I like it because it's an antique. But for an electrician, this is a real no-no. It has a steel shank all the way through the handle. Very sturdy. You can put a lot of torque on it. It even has a hex flats on the shank so that you can put a wrench on it for those times that you really need to get down onto something. But this is more of an antique. For me, what makes a good handle is one that I can grab a hold of. It doesn't slip, doesn't cause any splinters, and doesn't give me any problems. You can see that I have quite a few here with a rubber grip. I got used to them. When I was a young boy working as an electrician with my dad, that's the kind that he had. So I got used to them, I like them, and I've bought them ever since. But all that is just window dressing. Really, the handle doesn't mean much if the screwdriver doesn't work well. And the thing that makes the screwdriver work well is this part right here. It's a little bit at the end. That's what engages the screw. If it's not sturdy and it doesn't have a good shape, then it's not going to work. It's going to cam out. This is one of my oldest screwdrivers. When I was 18 and got my first job at the Midwest Foundry, my father took me to the Sears store and we bought a kit of tools because I was going to be working maintenance next to Dad and he wanted to make sure I had all the tools I needed. So we bought this precision ground, space age finish Pro Tool screwdriver, a V44SO. I don't know what that means. What I do know is this screwdriver has held up to all the abuse that I could give it for 47 years. I carried this in my tool pouch. And still do. It's a good screwdriver. It's a good common size. Got a nice straight tip on it. Very solid, doesn't cam out. I've had to sharpen it a few times, but still a good screwdriver. The only thing I ever really did bad to it was I burned it. Dad was an electrician, and I worked with Dad, and we were wiring a house, and he wanted me to put a circuit breaker inside of a power panel. Well, he didn't want me to turn the power off because the house was powered up and he wanted to leave it powered up. I don't recommend ever working inside of a hot panel. It's just as easy to turn off the juice, do the job, come back and turn it back on again. You might have to reset a few clocks, worth a lot more than getting shocked. But I wanted to do what Dad wanted me to do, so I reached into the power panel to tighten up the screw on a circuit breaker, and not realizing that the circuit breaker was on, I touched the circuit breaker and I ran against the ground wire. Burned a nice little divot in that screwdriver. If I had had this screwdriver instead, wouldn't have done anything. This screwdriver is insulated. I've had this one ever since I burned this one. I'm not going to have that happen again. Some people think that a screwdriver like this one with a metal cap in the end and a wooden handle is a really good screwdriver for beating on. But as you can see by the split in the side of the handle, it really doesn't do the screwdriver much good. And it ends up becoming a paint can opener like this one. And it looks like somebody used this as a paint can stirrer too. Now, what qualifies as a bad screwdriver? Any of these Pittsburgh screwdrivers could be considered a bad screwdriver. They don't hold up. The shank is too soft, and the tips spin out and cam out, and first thing you know, you've spent $3 and bought yourself a screwdriver and you're on top of a ladder and it's not working. Not worth the trouble. Now, these Pittsburgh screwdrivers do something kind of nasty. They're kind of like a snake in the grass. They camouflage themselves. When you've had this screwdriver for a while and the Pittsburgh is worn off the shank, it looks an awful lot like this snap-on. But this snap-on screwdriver, if I break it, bend it, break the handle, or just screw it up in some ridiculous way, snap-on replaces it. Not this one. So when you're looking for a screwdriver, do you want to spend a lot of money or a little money? You don't have to spend a lot of money. This is a good medium price screwdriver. This is a high-end screwdriver. It's a Klein. Has a square shank, straight bit, rubber handle, grips well, does a good job. It actually has a serrated tip so that it engages the screw a little better. It looks the same as these other two. This is a Williams and this is an Irwin. Hard to tell the difference just from looking at them. All three of these screwdrivers are good screwdrivers. The price of tools has gone down a bit. 47 years ago, this one cost me about $8. When I bought this one about 10 years ago, it cost me $8. That's my opinion on what makes a good screwdriver. One that holds up, one that fits your hand well, and one that has a lifetime warranty. If you have any suggestions for a new video, questions about today's video, or any of the other videos on the channel, just drop a note in the comments. You know I read them all. Thanks for watching.